more about which piece of it connected to, that kind of almost a fear you're expressing of getting bigger than your teachers, perhaps.
Yes. So what I took away from that article was the idea that the Israelites were moving through the desert for so long because the generation that was limited in its perspective had to die off, or had to be, in a different state, so that those who could step up
Right.
were coming of age at that point. And so as someone who's doing that, I feel like both parts at the same time.
Right. What's so fascinating is like about what happened is what they took 40 years and what they had to die off in order to recreate a new generation of leaders. Our generation of women is doing that within our lifetimes.
Yes. Yes.
So it's a rebirth. We're experiencing our own rebirth.
Yes.
And I'm there with you, because I was such an enslaved person. I was such a, trapped, limiting beliefs. And I am insisting upon being reborn as someone with limitless possibilities. And that's what you're saying.
Yes.
As well.
Yes. And I'm in the midst of, a nearly 30-year relationship, marriage, partnership. And when you start out from an enslaved perspective and you're having to, and you're rebirthing, it's, I haven't left the marriage. I'm committed to it. I love my partner, but it shakes things up. And
big time.
Yes. So all of that.
Well, 5 minutes, so that's great.
5 minutes. I know you can do it. I know you can.
See if I'm really a good coach.
No, I just I don't need the answer. I just love and value your insight and wisdom.
Yeah. Well, for me, a lot of the way that I work is I don't do it physically like the way you expressed about energy. What happens for me is I insist upon, I want to claim my birthright, which is what you're doing now. I claim it. But what happens when I do that is that brings up all the other parts that say, hell no, that's not going to happen. You're not going to do that. So for me, I actually need to go back and look at them, those pieces. So I do it in, I guess, in a very psychologically oriented way, because I need to talk to those pieces.
Yeah.
Do you do any work like that?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I do.
Okay, so I want you to actually close your eyes for a second. Take a couple of really deep breaths and relax. And I want you to look at that part of you that is the part that would object to this stepping out that you want to do, that you're doing. Which is the part that's telling you, what are they telling you? Ask them, what is their message? What are they telling you? Who are they? What do they look like? How do you picture them? What is that part of you that's saying, no, you can't do this. This is not the plan. I object.
So the part that's coming to my awareness now is actually a very young part of me. Almost, I would say, like kindergarten age. And there's something about that, like, step towards, I'm going to say, independence that I equate with like being all alone. Or if I do this, I'm going to be by myself.
Something very scary is going to happen.
Right. I'm gonna lose people, or I'm gonna lose everyone that matters. be alone. Yeah.
Well, that's enormous.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah. And you might have gotten that fear, well, where do you think it came from? Because parents worry when their kids, don't do that. Don't, careful.
Well, I certainly was raised in a very insular system, family system, and there was a lot about the need to be the same, feel the same, um, not
Okay.
not step out.
All right. I
And
see. So
yeah,
that is such a strong message that you got, that you're going to lose your clan if you individuate.
right. Which I think is in some ways why that article is so impactful to me, because it's about clan. I mean, there's like some level that I didn't even know.
Yeah. And it's so interesting because you came here and you talked about stepping into a role in terms of your career and your work, and then you also mentioned about your relationship, and here we are. They're so tied together because if you do this work on your career, there's this fear that you're going to lose the people in your life if you step forward.
Right. I think it's the child. Yeah, my child's fear that
Yes,
will.
yes, but your child is still she's still there. It hasn't been resolved. She's still speaking up to protect you. Don't do this because you need your family.
She's saying, I don't want to be alone.
Yes. Or not even, I don't want to be alone. She's saying, you don't want to be alone because she's managing you.
Yeah.
She's not you. She's part of you, but she's managing you.
Yes. Right. And I do feel like she's the one that freezes. Like there is this freeze in me, like the fight, flight, freeze. She is the freeze. Like she freezes me, and then my voice gets like that. And
yes. And she's doing it on purpose, and she's doing it really, really well.
she's very effective and very powerful.
She is. So, what would I want you to close your eyes again, and I want you to talk to her, and I want you to talk her down from this position that she has taken. Of course, she's doing it to help you.
Right. So first and foremost, I can feel both my adult commitment to her and, just to let her know that I'm not going to leave her, and B, like the recognition that there are so many people in my life today, including my partner, who does support me, even though sometimes it's rocking his world. That they're like, to look around, like I can just feel this sense of like putting my hand on her back and saying, look around, look at all the people who love you and care about you and are cheering for you, cheering for me, cheering for me.
She doesn't want that. She doesn't want them cheering for you. Because that means you're going to be doing this thing that's so scary.
Well, I do think the fact that I'm not going to leave her. And what I learned recently was that I really need to honor her, meaning I need to stay in tune and not just kind of drag her along like we're doing this.
Yeah, yeah.
That I need to say, I know you're afraid. We're going to be okay. and I'm taking this next step.
Good for you. Those are really powerful words. I think the three most important things to tell the little girl is, I'm sorry, because for some reason she got the message that she's supposed to stand on guard like this. She's been working really, really hard, and she did it because she got the message that she's supposed to do it.
Yeah.
And the other really important one is, I forgive you. Because she's held up your life for years and years. But you forgive her because you know why she did it. You don't hold it against her. And the third one, I think, for real integration is, I love you. Because, you know, we have to love these, you know, even these parts of ourselves that are, you're like, you just tricked me up for the past, you know, like, helped me not get to my goals for the past 30 years, you know. You know, you have to embrace, because love is the ultimate transformational power.
Yes. And I can feel that. And I can feel my love for her.
Yeah. I know I can see in the way that you talk to her, the way you talk about her, that there is a lot of love, and, you know, it's a good relationship. It's just finding and I'm honestly, I'm working with this myself, because I have a little part that lives inside me for the longest time that thought I was not supposed to achieve success. It was her job to make sure that I didn't succeed. I mean, really. And it's like, I'm trying to find another job for her. You know, like, go play, go, you know, get off duty. You don't do this anymore.
Right. And so somehow the success was threatening to her, or it believed it was a threat.
No, it wasn't threatening. Well, it just thought that I would be more loved if I wasn't successful.
Yeah.
That this was the way it was supposed to be. This was the right way that it was supposed to turn out.
Right. Yeah. So again, it's like the relational piece, the valuing of the relational over kind of your need or your.
Yes. Absolutely. This will please my family.
Yeah.
My gift to my family. Wow.
Sounds familiar.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, thank you. It's like we really are on parallel paths. It's very interesting.
I would say so.
Yeah. And I mean, for me, I just became very aware. I've done tons of work too, and I just became aware of this particular figure and in this particular position. You know, basically the position is like her nose pressed against a glass window, outside looking in. That's her position. You know, and it's like, wow. How did you see yours? What position?
I just saw her kind of standing alone. And again, I keep going back to this kindergarten idea of like standing on a sidewalk, you know, by herself, a little bit kind of rigid, of like, I'm not sure I can do this.
Yeah. Fascinating. Well, our time, unfortunately, went by very fast. So we'll have to wrap it up. If you want to take a second and just tell people where to find you, because you're also a working coach and author, and you're starting a new program. So why don't you say where people can connect with you?
Absolutely. A few ways. My website is revolutionaryheart.com. And I do have a group on Facebook, which is called the Sacred Feminine Sisterhood. And it's for those of us that are practicing and exploring living the sacred feminine in our day-to-day lives. So would love to have people join me there and join you as well. And lastly, in June, you can look on iTunes for Trust Your Sacred Feminine Flow.
Wonderful.
The new podcast.
That's so exciting. And it's been a tremendous honor to have you as my guest on the show. And I hope we'll see you here again. So thank you very much. And thank you to all our listeners as well for being our guests here on Paint Yourself into the Picture. To see more programs that I offer, please visit rebalinker.com, where you can pick up the first chapter of Imagine Self-Love, my best-selling journal that will help you find your way to that love relationship with yourself. To be a guest on Paint Yourself into the Picture, please visit vcntv.com/paintyourselfintothe-picture/apply. I'd love to have you be my guest. Remember to like this video and leave your comments below, and join us again next week for another coaching session on Paint Yourself into the Picture.
To watch the rest of this episode, click on the link below the video now if you're on YouTube. And if you're on Facebook, click on the Watch the Full Episode button when the video is done.